Homies and homies. What up, though, fam? It's your homie Grand. And before I bring some music production to you guys, as promised, and there's a whole lot to talk about here. A lot. So you're going to have to just be a little patient with your homie Grizzly Teasley. What up, though, homies and homies? It's your homeboy Grand Tizzle, and I'm back. And I'm back with some interesting... I did a little bit of research, fam. First of all, what I want to say is... you know, I've been on a little personal journey. Very personal journey. A very personal music journey. And the journey is, you know, by the name of my company being called Today's Beats. What Today's Beats, the true meaning behind Today's Beats, and I've always been a stickler, if that's if you will, if that's a word, if that's making sense to what I'm about to say. I've always been I got a better word. I've always been an advocate to change. Always been an advocate to that. And I've never been the type of advocate to be, you know, I'm a hip hop by heart, right? Hip hop. That's just pure. That's just in my bone marrow, right? But I've also been adaptable to change, and the reason why is because hip hop was changed. You know, hip hop was changed from something else. It came from, you know, funk, R&B, and things like that. It was another genre. It was another culture that emerged based on the youth of our time. And to be a true hip hopper, if you are a real true hip hopper, you the reason why you're a hip hopper is because you adapted to that particular change at that time. Now, there's another change. There's always going to be changes. You know, there's always going to be generation gaps and things like that. But as a musician, you always want to be able to change with the times. You don't really want to be stuck in time. You want to try to avoid that as much as possible if you really truly have a true deep passion for music. And that's the reason why there's a few artists out here that always can stand the test of time, and then there's some that just go by the wayside, and they'd be a one-hit wonder, or they'd be doing good in one genre, and then when the new genre come out, they fade out. So with that being said, I've always been into the growth of music, or the growth to change. And that's just the way it's been. And that's the reason why it's called Today's Beats and not yesterday's beats or tomorrow's beats. If we had a website called Tomorrow's Beats, then what would have happened was I would have made futuristic music. And then when that futuristic music shows up, it run its course. And then when it's gone, guess what? Future beats music is gone because that time has passed. If it was yesterday's beats, then I would have stuck to the oldies but goodies. And there's an audience for that. And that is what it is. But it's today's beats. That means that it's modern. It's always going to be modern from here on out. Whether I'm doing the tutorials or somebody else, some future child is doing the tutorials in the future. This business is going to be here forever. And whatever is happening in 3014, that's what today's beats is going to be about. What's happening in 3014. So I say all that to say that I've been on a journey, and you know, I'm fully aware that the music genre has emerged. It has grown. It has, and it has expanded to all sorts of genres of music at this point right now. At this rate, you got dubstep, you got EDM. You know, we come from hip hop and house and R&B and techno. And those were the different genres from jazz and, you know, the traditional R&B and things like that. Well, now there's a whole new genre of music out now. And that's where we are. So to be able to keep up with the times and, you know, to adapt with the change, then you want to adapt with the music and things like that. Now, you know, being hip hop and trap and things like that, you know, a lot of the music is going to dance. It is, and you know, the days of, you know, riding slow in your cars, you know, smoking and drinking in the car and listening to the music dumped in the system, those are, they may come back in the future, but those days, they're pretty much kind of long gone. A lot of the kids, they're dancing to music now, you know, and it's just a change. So with all that being said, there's a new sound, there's a new music that's growing, that's emerging, and I've always encouraged you guys to learn many new things and different things and things like that, not to be stuck in one genre, things like that. So that's the benefits of learning, really honestly learning like music theory, or at least the basics of music theory, because music theory is never going to change. The only thing that's going to change is the style of the music that we listen to. Maybe the drum patterns might change. The drum sounds is always going to change. The sounds is always going to change. And what's seeming like it's coming full circle is the synthesizer use of synthesizer. And one of the reasons, or should I say, a quick explanation to it is because you get to create your own sound. You get to make your own sound. You get to create your own style, and you get to sound different from everybody else. Now there's a pattern that's really popular, that's trending, and the pattern is pretty much going to kind of be the same for a little minute until we either discover or we force a new style onto the listeners. So right now, what you can do, if you're not in a position to change the style or whatever the case may be, or you don't have the power or the power behind you to enforce a new style or genre or whatever the case may be, you can follow the trends and just put your own little twist to it. So with all that being said, I've been dabbling into some new sounds and some new things, and you can hear it. You can hear the change that's going on. And there's a style that's, EDM music is really big. But what I like to do is I like to keep it, keep it hip hop, keep it thorough, right? And but I like to blend the old with the new. You know what I mean? I like to blend the old with the new. So in this journey of searching, in this journey of learning new things and checking out new sounds and dabbling into other things, I found one is very popular to get into sound design. Now we're going to talk a lot more about that later on. We're not going to dig deep into it right now. But what I did want to bring up is the question of, is Reason good enough? Is Reason good enough? Is Reason still, can it still handle things? So I did a test study, and one thing in particular that I learned that I've been kind of finding out, and that's one of the reasons why, I was a little slow to present new tutorials, because I was doing some research, and, again, fam, you don't want to be kind of stuck in time as the world moves forward in the head, and you're still stuck in your old ways and things like that. And I just wanted to make sure that Reason still could handle the adaptation, or Reason could still handle the change. And I can't say that it can, but I've always felt a certain type of way about the sound quality of Reason as opposed to the sound quality coming from something like Ableton or Fruity Loops or Protools. Now, what I've recently discovered is that when I'm producing my music in Reason, I kind of like to produce the music in Reason and then transfer everything over to Pro Tools. And the reason why is because of all of the plugins and all of the different features that I can apply, some sound effects and some EQ. Those things are not in Reason. And the music just elevated up. Like if it was 100% in Reason, it literally elevated twice as better to me, to my ears, in Pro Tools. 200 from 100% to 200%. I'm able to add more fullness to the kicks and the snares, and really bring out the brightness of the synthesizers or the strings, or even the piano, by using plugins that's just simply not available in Reason. Or it could be available, the VST plugins could be available to Reason, but there's just too much workaround to get it for my personal taste. Reason to me was a brilliant device to run to, because everything was just right there, snap of the finger. So if I have to twist and turn and do all these other crazy things to pull up a VST, no, I'm just going to move on to another software that already handles it smoothly. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, the most important thing that I was really looking into was the sound quality of Reason. And I've always been an advocate about sound quality, mixing and EQing and things like that. So I've been toying around lately with Ableton. Ableton's been out for a while. It's been out for a while. And I've always, tried to, blend in the old with the new. Because, I'm a true hip-hop head. Jay Dilla, for life. You know what I mean? But, in West Coast, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre, the Battle Cat, that's kind of like my natural style and flavor, right? But you're still talented enough to, be able to pull off the trap and pull off the soul trap and things like that, because you just know music theory, R&B, you just understand the whole genre of music. So more than changing the style, changing my styles, or getting off into some other frequencies. And I say frequencies because today's music, the frequency of music is changing. The days of the pianos and the guitar, although we're still using them, we're just more into sound design. Just different sounds, something just more interesting to listen to. Music is almost more kind of getting cinematic, if you will. And I'm not speaking for the entire globe, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you kind of can pick and choose which direction you're going to go musically as you evolve, you understand? So I would like to go the direction of sound design. And the reason why is because I like original music. I like original sounds, original. So to be able to create your own sounds and then apply it to music and have fun. The whole thing is just having fun with the music. And there's only so much fun you can have when you're using traditional sounds. So with that being said, we're not going to dig deep off into the whole sound designing thing, because that's a whole totally different genre. That's a whole completely different ball game. But what we is going to talk about is sound quality, the clarity. And one thing that I've noticed when I was producing in Ableton, and when I was producing in Pro Tools, and when I was producing in Fruity Loops, and when I was producing in Reason, something in Reason is amiss. Something is not, it's some body. It's a body. It's a core body. It's kind of almost like, Reason have the flesh and they have the bones, but the marrow, I think, and I could be wrong, fam, and this could be a placebo effect, but it's just some body, it's some bone marrow that seems to be missing in Reason. And to be able to evolve into this bigger genre, this bigger style of music, this bigger flavor, this unique flavor that you can really truly have fun with, and you can get your listeners engaged, and you can get your audience engaged. It's about sound. It's about the quality of your sound. The drums is there. I used to be an advocate about drum sample sound quality and drum samples. They're there now. So since they're there, what are you to do to be able to elevate the quality of your overall sound? So when I made tracks, it just sounded better coming from an MPC or coming from Ableton or coming from Pro Tools or even in some cases coming from Fruity Loops, but there's something that was missing in Reason. So what I did was I created a track, just a little dummy track in Ableton, and I mixed that track down, and I mixed it down in 24-bit 44K. And I transferred those files over to Reason. And I did some research, and one thing that I found about Reason is that it's not really clear if the bit rate is 16-bit, 24-bit, or 32-bit. Now, I know everybody say that, or a lot of places were saying that it records, it plays, it does everything in 32-bit, and then everything goes drop down to 16. But I don't know. There's nothing here that tells me that I can, let's see. I'm not going to change nothing up because I got everything set up. But there's nothing here that tells me if I'm playing or recording in 16, 24, or 32. But as opposed to Ableton, we can go over to preferences, and it is clearly there. Although it says the sample rate playback is 44, it's somewhere on here that says if you want to record in 24, 32, or something like that. Where is that at? It's here somewhere. There you go, right there. The bit depth 24, and just a wave, wave file, and then it says the playback is at 44, but I can't believe that. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how it works yet. But I'm listening. I have listened to it. I listened to it loud. I listened to it on some really good quality speakers. And I listened to it on some really good quality headphones. And even when I changed the sample rate here from 44 to 48, 88, 96, even 192, I really didn't hear no difference. I didn't. But what I have noticed is this same track that's coming from here just sounds thicker and warmer than it coming from here, although this is 24-bit mixed down at 48 kilohertz. And I'm going to play it, and you may not be able to hear it, but I'm going to play it anyway. Check this out. And then the same track in here, 24-bit. Now you have to be here. You really have to be here to really hear the difference. And if anybody have Ableton and Reason, try it for yourself. Listen to it on your speakers at home. When I turn that same track up here in Ableton, it make you want to dance, right? But when I turn that track up in here in Reason, it just sounds loud. You see, it just is loud, but like even the snare, like when I soloed the kick and the snare here, which really you should separate that. But when I separated the kick and the snare, in particular, the snare sounded thin. It didn't have that bite. There's a little bite. That's kind of coming off thin to me. And everything is all clear. There's nothing added to it. No master compressor on, no EQ, nothing. Everything is 0 at 0. Now, and when I played that loop here on solo, you hear that? I mean, you hear a little bit more of the body of that snare. And those little frequencies, fam, to me personally, those little frequencies is what really makes the difference in your music. Now, again, like right now I have to listen to it through headphones because I'm recording and I would get feedback if I have my speakers on. But when you play the speakers, when I play the speakers and I turn the speakers up, you can hear the difference. There's another type of body. And I'm assuming that is because it's playing at 24-bit. and the kilohertz is up there, maybe 48 or 88 or 96, something. The frequency is just thicker, and I know I'm not tripping. I can't be tripping because I'm an advocate of about sound frequency. I'm an advocate. I'm anal about it. You understand what I'm saying? So so what's the whole point you're trying to say, Grantism? I don't know yet. I don't really know what I'm trying to say yet. And I definitely don't want to abandon my baby. This is my baby. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking about cross-producing. Using Ableton for things and using Reason for things and using Pro Tools for vocals. Because again, we all know that Pro Tools, they recording, they playing, they doing everything at the 24-bit, they at the highest bit rate possible. But I'm still concerned. I'm still trying to understand what's going on, and I can't really find all of the information that I need to find about Reason. Reason, are you handling our sound at the high bit rate? Some people call it candy music. Some people saying it's not professional enough. I beg to differ as far as the movement and the things that you can do and the direction you can go. You know what I'm saying? But there's something new that came out, that just recently came out. They asked me to update. And I want to say this real quick. Serum, and some of you are already probably familiar with this. I'm the one that's the late head. But Serum is the synthesizer. Serum, Massive, and there's another one. I can't think of the name right now, but we're going to get to it. But these synthesizers kind of is like I won't say it's the new trending thing. It kind of been there. It's just kind of starting to creep its way up into mainstream and almost kind of being the new thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's been there. Don't get me wrong, it's been there, but it's making enough noise to wake up even the modern producers that's producing all of the trap music right now. People are starting to get a little bit more familiar with it. So they have a new. Let me pause this for a minute. I'm gonna pull this up. Give me a second. Right here, Reason 9.2, and they say rack extensions expanded. They say advanced wavetable synth that now lets you load your own waveforms. Now again, things is coming over to this, and even Reason is recognizing that. Even Reason is recognizing that, fam. Now Serum is the new go-to synthesizer to create your own sound, for lack of a better word. It's the go-to synthesizer so that you can create your own sound. We get into the details about these later on, but this is what's happening right now. This is what's happening. So to get off into mastering this is what you may want to consider, whether you're using it or not. I'm telling you, always grow, always learn, always get into new things. But this is starting to be the way to go, and is recognizing this. So they got something called Expanse and Proton. I'm gonna look a little bit more into Proton, but what I do know about Expanse is that it's similar to Serum, and it's kind of like the answer to Serum. Now, to really know what Serum does, you probably got to do a little bit of research and to find out, because to appreciate what this is, you got to know what Serum is, and to know what Serum is, you got to kind of know what the genre of music and why people go into it, and it's all about sound design, fam. To put it all in a nutshell, it's all about everything is going into sound design. So to get on top of it before it's oversaturated would be ideal for you. All right. So this is the answer. This is a Reason version to Serum. Serum is a plugin that you can put in. You can put it. It's a VST. You can put it in Pro Tools. You can put it in Fruity Loops. You can put it in Ableton. Anything that can accept VST, you can use Serum. And that's the problem with with Reason. If Reason was able to clearly record 24-bit without any question at the highest bit rate possible and accept VSTs, then Reason would be kicking a lot of people in their behind. But I don't know. I think it's maybe time for Reason to catch up, and I'm sure they're going to get on top of that, because these rack extensions is excellent. But man, you know what I'm saying? You know, people will start moving off into some other things just to get some other vibes and some other flavors and things like that. But anyway, man, I just wanted to bring that out to you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load right now Serum and Massive. Those are the things right now. Synthesizer sounds, and what's cool is it basically come in full circle, because we remember when we first got into synthesizer sounds back in the day with Zapp and Roger and George Clinton. I mean, it's all the same thing. You see what I'm saying? We just going back to it. It's not something that's completely, totally brand new. It's just, it comes full circle. How genres, musical genres, generations, we come in full circle. There's nothing new invented under the sun. You just got to keep up with everything. But the power players back in the day would be the power players today. The power players back in the day were those who can program synthesizers. If you could program a synthesizer to make your own sound, then you're going to be the man, and your music is going to have a specific, unique signature to it. You understand? And your signature, especially if you're good, you know, if you're good at beats, especially if you're good at beats, if you can program synthesizers, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be that guy. Trust me. So we're going to be looking into those things, and, you know, anything that is going to keep you up to date, keep you modern. That's what we're going to focus on. Not taking away from where we grew up. You know, we grew up with the hip hop, the boom bap, things like that. It's not going to take away. All we're going to do is apply that to the modern, what we know today, and create our own genre of music, or create our own style, just long as we dabbling into what is really going on today. So I just wanted to bring that out, and I wanted to discuss that, and we got a whole lot more to talk about, but that's what I've been doing. I've been behind the scenes figuring out how can we implement this new sound, and how the importance of the quality of the sound it is really, you know, it is what I'm really advocating for. And you know, so we're gonna do a little bit more. I'm gonna make a couple more tracks, and for the most part, I'm going to take where's it at here? Right here. I'm going to install this. I'm gonna do my download, my trial, and try this for 30 days. And the good thing about Expanse, I didn't get a chance to mention, is that you're able to import Serum presets inside of Expanse. So that's really good, really good. But I'm going to import these sounds in Expanse, and then I'm going to make some production in that. And then I'm going to make the same production in Ableton, and I'm going to kind of just cross compare the sounds, because again, at the end of the day, what you want your sound to, if you're going to go into the synthesizer sound with these different frequencies and these different flavors and these different vibes, you just don't want the synthesizer sound, because it's not going to give off the same effect if you're not hearing all of the quality, if you're not hearing all of the bit rate of these different frequencies. You want to hear the bit rate of the frequencies. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to end this session or this discussion. It's like going to the show. When you're at the show, you're listening to a very, very high bit rate. And your kilohertz frequency is way up there in the 192 area. You ain't listening to no 16-bit 44K sounds. If you was, you wouldn't be able to hear the rumble of Godzilla's or King Kong's voice. You wouldn't be able to hear the rumble. You wouldn't be able to feel the explosions out the bass if the frequency range was at 44 16-bit. there will be a lot of information missing, fam. So I really want you to grasp what I'm saying, grasp those words, what I'm talking about. And that's the reason why if the sound genre is switching over and we're getting off into the synthesizer slash old school R&B hip hop, we want to be able to keep those new frequencies and be able to listen to it at its highest bit rate and at its highest kilohertz frequency that we possibly can. So when we playing our music, it's more than just what you're hearing. It's more about what you're feeling. It's more about what you're feeling. And if we can make people feel a certain type of way, because they got growls and roar. You know, they got growls and roars in these different synthesizer sounds. You want to be able to hear that. You want to be able to feel that. So when you dance to it or you rap to it, the music is already taking you where you should go. All you're doing is putting the icing on the cake. That's it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sign out and leave you guys with that thought, food for thought. But look into Expansive Hyperwave Synthesizer. And keep in mind that I will be doing some new production in Ableton as well as Reason. And we're going to be going back and forth, cross-platform recording and things like that. Tweaking around with some new samples and things. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to say is that all of this has been transferred over as 24-bit sounds. 24-bit, I think it's either 48 kilohertz or 90 something kilohertz. But these are high quality sounds and samples and things like that. So it's obvious that Reason can play and import 24-bit. But again, when we play it back, and it just could be a few small things, or maybe I'll correct myself later on, or somebody in the comment gonna be like, T, that's the reason why, it's because blah, 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 blah. We really haven't tackled sound quality in these tutorials. We just tackled just production in itself. But again, the transferring over to the new style, the new sound, where you really want to dabble into frequency and really have a lot more fun and interesting sounds that's going on in your music, then that forces you to consider the sound quality of your work. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. I got more tutorials coming. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Share this information. And if commercials play, let them roll, baby. And for my VIP members, I got several new tutorials that's posted, as well as new tutorials that's posting up every other day. Well, at least, it depends. I might do several and then post them all up. I don't know. All right. So I guess I'm gonna sign out right now. But until the next time, I'll talk to y'all in a minute. I'll see y'all in a minute. I'll see y'all in a minute and do some research, find out what's going on, because we're gonna be tackling some madness. Till the next time, peace.